Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming today. Today, we're going to be doing a reading for Virgo from now to the end of October. I do think I want to try something a little different with this. We're going to do a general reading first, and then through possibly some tarot cards, possibly some oracle cards, we'll do a couple cards for love, a couple cards for career. Maybe we'll do some cards for schooling if any of you want to know something about schooling. Um, and maybe a couple cards for family matters if someone is here for family matters. Of course, some of these topics won't resonate with all of you. You know, take the topics that do resonate with you, leave the ones that don't. I will. I don't know if I'll put timestamps or not. I'll try to put timestamps actually of the topics. But anywho, let's go ahead and look at these. I did shuffle and put these out already because I was very unsatisfied with my intro. And then I decided that we was going to delve into several topics, and I decided that the second intro I did also wasn't accurate anymore because I was like, well, actually, let's just do several topics in the one video here because I don't have that much time to do several videos for each sign every month. And I want to just get back more into doing this because I really do enjoy this for my energy, and it's very helpful to some of you as well. So anyways, I did already put them out. Do to have two clarification cards on this. This card did pop out when I was shuffling. It is Major Arcana number 1, the producer. So I do think that a lot of you will be manifesting something into your life, possibly something that you've been like wanting, or I think that a lot of you will be manifesting better things to come. Speaking of which, I do think that some way or another you will be either eliminating yourself out of some kind of equation, possibly eliminating something out of your life that is no longer serving you. It could be necessarily that like you didn't have it could be just something came up on you and you're like, I'm gonna try for something else here. And moving on to something better, we have the next destination card, 3 of Roses here, some kind of travel or progression. For some of you, I guess it could be progressing on into something better, similar to your current situation, or at your, like, say at the job, maybe some of you could be taking a promotion of some kind. But I feel like a lot of you is going to be just eliminating something here, and a lot of you could be trying for something more personal. A lot of you could be trying for doing like your own business of some kind, or I see a lot of you could be doing your own thing, like whether it's crafts or videos or so many different things. And with, this could be about careers, it could be about love. This is a general reading, so I think a lot of you also could be, for those of you who that this would be a relationship thing, maybe you could be moving past someone, or because we do see self-elimination here. A lot of you could be like just removing yourself from a plan, not necessarily a plan that you made either, I don't think, for those of you that relates to, but a lot of you just could be removing yourself from an equation, whatever that may mean to you personally. The next card here we have is the Ace of Rings, the first date. The Ace of Rings is similar to the Ace of Pentacles, so I think a lot of you will have some just new opportunities here. Ace of Pentacles in particular is a really good card for new careers or new growth, new money opportunities, which I think is going to be right in your court this month. Really, go for it and take advantage of it because this energy is in your field. With this being, especially this deck that we're using, and this being the first date card, I do think a lot of you maybe could be meeting someone new, of course, as well, depending on, there's different Virgos that's going to relate to different parts of this. So I feel like most of you, this is going to be like either a career or a love thing, and I feel like it's, for most of you, it's not going to be both. It's either one or the other. So let's see, what is this first date card here? Ace of Rings. What is the Ace of Rings here for Virgo? Oh, we have the Ace of Mirrors. Fresh meat. Mirrors, I believe, is like swords. But either way, fresh meat, I do think that it's important to think about the way you've been doing things and maybe see a pattern of where it's not working and maybe go from a different angle or something. I feel like it's the time to try something in a new way that you haven't done yet. I feel like for a lot of you, there's something that you've been wanting and you are going to try to get what you've been wanting in a new way. And I think that you're going to see more success in that. And it's also important to remember that you're not going to have immediate success all the time either. So it's not like for example, if you start a new job, it may take a second to get used to it or something like that, or to really flourish in it. We also here, the next card here we have is the Three of Flutes. Here to make friends. I think that first of all, for those of you who have this love thing here, you may be pursuing this person and then you may be developing a better friendship here before something else progresses really in the romance department, which is a great way to go about a relationship. Others of you, though, here who have a career thing might make some good connections here, which is awesome. Or like a networking thing for a lot of you, I feel like, too. And I don't feel like it's necessarily like you intentionally did it, just putting yourself out there more and taking the necessary actions is someone's going to see it, and you make some connections of some kind. Some of you may take the steps to make the connection, but anyways, the card clarifying that is the King of Mirrors, the intellectual. Yeah, someone studying and really spotting you. Even for those of you in a relationship thing, I feel like even if you're not necessarily looking for something, I feel like a lot of you may develop a friendship connection and then that turns into something more. And you just kind of like doing this thing here of, for those of you who have that part of this reading, I feel like you are going to be, just being free and being yourself. And I feel like it is going to really attract this King of Mirrors, King of Swords person. And you're really going to catch their eye. For those of you with the career thing, I feel like whatever networking thing here is, it could be something like, maybe let's say that you work at McDonald's and you just, doing your best customer service possible to every single person, and someone comes through and maybe you tell them about like, oh, I've been doing X, Y, and Z, and I've done this or that or whatever. And first of all, being nice to the person, but also doing skills or doing something to bring yourself closer to what you want. And then maybe that person has the connection you need to get. That could be a thing, or it could be just putting yourself out there and opening up that Etsy store or opening up that YouTube channel. So many different things that it could be. So the next card here we have is the Page of Mirrors, the Gossip card. I do think that a lot of people are going to be talking. I think it's important to not feed into the gossip. I feel like I'm getting some kind of like advice of like, try to stay out of it. Yeah, because if you feed into the gossip at all, you're going to be framed as the villain, and you're not going to get things that you would like then. Whereas I feel like this is under the deck, so I feel like this is like almost like on the flip side. We have the Knight of Mirrors, the meathead, and this is similar to the Knight of Swords, which is I feel like this energy of like alluring, attractive, of course that can be a relationship thing, but alluring and attractive can also be other things as well. So I think that could attract other people to you in a positive way. I don't think I've ever lit an incense in this room with the door shut. I'm kind of worried it's gonna, like, the smoke detector is gonna go off. Just in case you're wondering, I don't even remember having bought this before. I was looking at which incense I wanted to light, and I was like, I don't remember buying this, but this is the incense I'm using today. So this is the energy we have going on in here. Okay. So the last card here in the main part of the reading is the Ten of Rings. Hometown. I feel like this is really thinking about your roots and not worrying about doing things to impress other people or doing things that you don't love. Like, that job may pay great, but if you don't love what you do, then, at the end of the day, it's going to not be worth it. And for a lot of you, it wouldn't be something that would be long lasting then. For those of you who's here I feel like this is like a romantic thing for a lot of you, the story going on here. For those of you who have that going on, I feel like that this is about someone you feel really at home with and like a really deep connection with. Now, I keep going back and forth between these two things of like this main message I feel like is for most of you either a career themed thing or a romantic themed thing. We will get into a love reading later, and that will be for all of you, the love cards that we do when we do that. When I do that, I'm not saying that this is what's happening in love or career for all of you, because it's not. It's just this main message here is for certain people that's watching, and for almost all of you, it will be one or the other. So yeah, anyways. Hometowns here, Ten of Rings. Why is the Ten of Rings here in this reading for Virgo? Why is this Ten of Rings here in this reading for Virgo? The Bachelor, Major Arcana number 4. I feel like that's really about being very confident. The word that comes to my mind, but I feel like it's also like very assertive, or very like this is someone who like knows who they are, what they want, and it is really helping bring that energy of these roots and this connection from the hometown card here. Just do what you love. Life's too short for anything else, anything less. Anyways, the overall cards here we have is I think we'll go over both of these and then I'll clarify both of them. So the first one here we have is the Six of Roses, the challenge winner. This is, actually, hold on. Let's do the other one and then we'll go over both of them. We have the Nine of Roses, and it is meeting parents. It's really hard to tell that's a 9. Anyways, I feel like this Nine of Roses card here really goes with the Ten of Rings card here we had in the main reading. Meeting parents, I feel like, is similar to that connection that we had earlier as well, where I feel like this is like, in a romantic thing, obviously, it's getting to know the person better, but in a career thing, it would be like meeting the CEO or something like that, or like not literally, some of you it might be, but it'd be more about like meeting the person you need to meet to make what you need to happen, or like to deepen the connection or enhance your chances of something being better there. And with the challenge winner card, I feel like it's like really it's doing something, and I don't even think it's necessarily intentional. That's part of doing what you love here. Do what you love, be you, and there will be people who notice. And it's something like you need to expect of, like, it may not happen right away. Some people will do things like For example, a band, they may, really get into making music and then release their first album and maybe it doesn't do very well. And a lot of times, a lot of people will just give up at that point. Some people might make a second album, maybe it doesn't do well either, and then they give up. Because, by now at that point, the first album has, X number of views, but the second album only has this number, and it can be demoralizing for them. We got some tea. Literally. Anyways, yeah, so let's do one more card to clarify both of these, because I feel like I actually don't need to clarify them individually. Yeah. For a lot of you, I guess it could be saying as well, like, maybe set a realistic date of, like, if I haven't met my goals. Like, a lot of you may be venturing out and trying something new, whatever that may be. And it may be like, okay, if my goal X, Y, and Z that's realistic and obtainable isn't met by XYZ date that's not going to harm you or, like, your life overall, then I will, have a backup plan or whatever and do that. I feel like a lot of you also may be, some kind of date, like, scheduling something, whatever that may mean. So a lot of you may be having, because we do have the Bachelor card too there and a couple other cards here, I feel like it maybe some of you could be beneficial to have some kind of structure in something, but not something that's going to make you feel hostage. It's all about that balance. Okay, so let's see. I want to do shift gears here a little bit. I'm going to use 2 Oracle decks here for some love messages, and then I think I'm going to use a different tarot deck here for a couple career messages. So, and it'll be a tarot deck for the career messages, because I don't really have, I guess I could do that tarot deck in that Oracle deck. We'll see. Actually, I know what we'll do. We're going to do a couple cards here for love, and then we'll do a couple cards here for career, and then we will do some answer cards. So think about an answer that you might want a specific question for. Okay, so love messages. Can we get love messages for Virgo from now until the end of October? If there's someone on Virgo's mind or someone that has piqued Virgo's interest, what does this person think about Virgo? What is the hidden truth here? What is the messages of love from this person? What would they say to Virgo? Okay, so if there has been someone on your mind, someone that's piqued your interest, for those of you who came for some love messages, we will do another deck here too. But this first deck here, we have 4 cards here. We have Retreat. Time alone or in nature will help you recharge. We do also have Twin Flame. This is a divine counterpart connection. Yeah, so this is someone that you have known before and possibly been in a relationship or at least been interested in before in a previous life. I feel like this person is in your life to teach you a spiritual lesson. So I feel like, first of all, it's important. We do have one more card here in this, but it is important to not obsess about it and to have you time still and have that, not give away all your energy. I do think that it's also important to note that, twin flames, first of all, if this is a true twin flame and not just like, because some of you, it may be something else, but for those of you that do have a true twin flame connection here, those do typically teach you lessons. So a lot of you may have a true twin flame connection here going on right now. And they are a little rough sometimes, so I have you in my thoughts. So I do think that, regardless of whether something long-term comes out of it, even or not, I do think that you will learn something out of it in the end. We also do have the addiction card here, and addiction is affecting this relationship. So I do think that this could be them, it could be you. I do think that someone is too obsessed almost sounds too strong, but it's kind of the word that comes to my mind a little bit. Too into something, too obsessed with something. It could be maybe you are too into them, they're too into you. It could be one of you has maybe a drug or alcohol addiction of some kind that's affecting things here. It could be that one of you are just like, maybe you're way too into piano and you're playing too much piano and not spending too much time on anything else. It could be maybe one of you are too addicted to work because of maybe money troubles, and it's hard for this connection to form. There is some kind of blockages here, I feel like, with that, with what we're seeing from this though, and this is how they're feeling about you. I suppose we did do that. So let's see, what love messages do we have for Virgo from now till the end of October? What do they have to look forward to? What is the outcome going to be here? What is going to be happening for Virgo in love from now till the end of October? Okay, that makes sense. I feel like there is this energy here of obviously a really nice love with the other cards we've seen here. Nothing like too super lovey-dovey though, so I don't think that this is like a dream fairy tale thing. I think that there are, you know, some challenges here that you're going to be facing if you are here for love. But we do have the new love card here. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I do think that for a lot of you have seen this person in another life, but in this life maybe you're just now meeting them or something, or maybe you've recently met them. For a lot of you also, even if it's someone you've known for a while, maybe you're just now developing feelings for them. We also have true love. This is a romance of a lifetime. So, I mean, a lot of you feel a really deep, passionate connection here for this person. Had to get some tea. A lot of you feel this really deep, passionate connection here for this person, but be careful not to, you know, be so into that you're not, you know, having this alone time, and maybe even go into nature or something and recharge or whatever it is that you have as like personal hobbies. And this last card here, this was under the deck, and this is that kind of like other side of this that I was talking about. So we have the deception card here. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. So someone's not being honest about something here. You or them, someone, it's almost like you don't know everything about them, and there are things maybe about them that would change your opinion. Just a second. Okay, I know this is going to be weird, but I seen my vitamins up there and I'm like, oh, I should have taken that a long time ago. I had to take my vitamins real quick. Anyways, yeah, I do think that either you don't know everything about them or you're not revealing everything about yourself to them, but either way, there is something here that may affect this relationship that is not out in the open, and it's not something that you're both are fully aware of, and it may even be possibly be a thing that whichever side isn't, and maybe both of you don't know everything about each other, and that's, you know, is an ultimate factor here. But I do think that it is something that could be I don't know what I was going to say, honestly, no. It just like left me mid-sentence. Maybe that's the universe's way of saying that we don't need to know that right now. Okay, so that was a little short, but let's go ahead and do a couple cards here for career. So what is going to be happening? I do feel like, you know, I have always been, I don't know if I've ever done, like, I don't think I've ever done career readings on YouTube. I mean, maybe I have, I don't remember. It's been so long since I started this channel. But I don't think I ever have. I have on Twitch a couple times, but like, I do feel like this is a major month for Virgo in particular for career. I mean, I'm a Virgo, so I've seen that in other tarot readings that I've seen from other readers. I guess I'll find out. This is the first reading I'm doing, so I haven't done the other signs yet. So I guess I'll find out when I do them if the other signs are also experiencing this energy. But for Virgos in particular, I'm surprised, especially with Mercury in retrograde, and we also have so many other planets here. Let's see. We have Uranus, Jupiter in retrograde, Eris is in retrograde, Chiron's in retrograde, Neptune's in retrograde, Saturn's in retrograde, Pluto's in retrograde. I know those are all outer planets, and Mercury's in retrograde too. But I know those other ones aren't all outer planets, but those are like major like generational energies, a lot of them are. So it's really a big deal. So what is going on with Virgo in career from now to the end of October? What do they need to know? What is going to be happening? Spill me all the tea. Okay. Okay, we start out here with the Ace of Wands. I feel like you're going to be finding out some new information. Four of Wands. Interesting. I do feel like you're going to be finding out some kind of new information, or something new is going to happen here. Actually, this could be a lot of you taking action here to do something that you really feel at home with and really feel like truly grounded with and happy with here. Let's see. What is the Hanged Man doing here? The Hanged Man. What is this doing here for Virgo? The High Priestess. Okay. So we have the Hanged Man. This is about, being slow, methodical, taking your time. A lot of you may need to think before you act, but I wouldn't say that too strongly, because I do feel like a lot of you are going to be making some major action here earlier. And like we said earlier in the main reading, in the first part, for those of you who resonated with that, that was the career side of that was about maybe picking a date and like being very reasonable, but also like, just kind of seeing what happens here with whatever it is that you really are into. A lot of you are going to be starting some kind of new adventure. And it even for some of you who maybe you literally can't, last money-wise with a change up and doing something you really love. Maybe you will like split up your time in a way to where you're doing what you love, but also your main job, and kind of like supplementing your income in a way to where like you're making enough, but like, and then just kind of like gradually figure it out. Now, for me personally, like I said, I'm a Virgo and I've tried that. So for me personally, I feel like this is more of like a major shift. But for a lot of you, it could just be, like I said, like a split of your time to still do what you love, depending on whether or not you're going to be able to survive a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever the goal is, whatever it is exactly that you're doing career-wise that's new. Because for some of you, maybe the new career path makes okay money also. But I do think that it's important to set your expectations at a level to where you maybe expect things to grow and to not start out a certain way. We also have the High Priestess here. I feel like your intuition here is really powerful, and your like deep internal knowledge about whatever this is that you're into is going to be super helpful in whatever career it is. For some of you, it may be getting a new job. For others of you, it could just be, taking a promotion, maybe working in a different field of the job you already work at. There's so many things that it could be. It also could be maybe some of you may even just not necessarily doing a new job, but maybe you're opening up an Etsy shop while you work at your main job and figuring out a way to make that work. This is, a reading for all Virgos that are watching. This isn't going to resonate with every single Virgo, obviously. Let's see. Queen of Cups is the next card here. We have the Queen of Cups. I'll show it real quick here. This reminds me a lot of the High Priestess energy here. Why is the Queen of Cups here? Oh, this is it right here. Six of Wands. I feel like it's someone who's very emotionally stable, someone who is a very thoughtful, someone who is a very in-tuned internally, and also is very maybe intuitive is the word I'm looking for. I don't know. But clarifying that here we have the Six of Wands. I feel like that's very like spotlight, like, and being recognized. I feel like for a lot of you, you know, whatever you're doing here, I feel like you're going to do a good job and be very emotionally stable, grounded, very, you know, intuitive, and you're going to be recognized for your smartness. I don't know if smartness is the right word. That's the first word that came to my mind, though. But it also feels wrong. I don't know. Anyways. We have the Nine of Wands here as the final card for the careers. And then we'll probably... Yeah, I know what we'll do, actually. Because we did 2 decks for the other one. Well, actually, this kind of is the same because we're clarifying all of these. So it's like we're using... Yeah, anyways. Nine of Wands. Why is this here? Why is Nine of Wands here for Virgo? Yeah. I feel like this is really saying, you know, regardless of if you feel like giving up or that, you know, this just isn't going to make it. Like, for example, this isn't going to be for a lot of you. But, you know, let's say you're starting a band. Like, you're not going to start out at the same level as, like, as Paramore or some like really popular group. I don't know. I was trying to think of a group that's like the least offensive, because you know how there's certain groups if I said, then people would be like, oh, I hate that group, and just like start this whole thing, or like musician or whatever. But anyways, let's say you wanted to be a musician. You know, you're not going to be at that level of success overnight, and most of those artists aren't either. They put in a lot of work beforehand that you don't even see. But anyways, my point being, whatever it is that you're thinking about doing, you know, let's say that you work at a company and you want to be CEO, like, don't give up, because obviously you're not going to start out as CEO. Like, you would have to move up, unless you were CEO at another company and then they might hire you in a CEO, but that's probably the only way. Anyways, the card clarifying that is the Two of Cups, and this is, I feel like in a career reading especially, it's just like, stay true to yourself, do what you really love and what you have a mutual, like, because this is about mutual attraction if it was just like in a regular reading, but in a career reading especially, it's about like what you have this like really deep passion for, and just like, you know, people will see that, and people will see that energy, and it'll be good for you overall in the end. I didn't really shuffle for this, but it caught my eye, and I feel like I need to mention it right now at the moment, at least. Justice is on the bottom of the deck, so what comes around goes around. That's not exactly the phrase I would think of with the Justice card necessarily, but that's the phrase that comes to my mind for you for that. Actually, I was going to read from in between the lines here, but I think... Let's see, let's get... I never used this deck. The Ocean. I feel like this is saying a couple things. Like, there's so many opportunities here. There's so much expansion room. There's so much energy and effort that might need to be put into it for a lot of you. But in the end, I think it's going to be worth it with how free the ocean feels. Okay, now I would like for everyone, we are going to use the Angel Answers Oracle deck, which I don't really like the theming of this deck, if I'm to be honest. However, this is really the only like answer deck that I have like this. So I am going to pull 3 cards from this. So I guess, I plan on pulling 3, but sometimes my spirit guide has me pull more. We'll see what happens. I plan on pulling 3. But go ahead and think of a question that you would like to know the answer to. Some of these questions in here, we do have yes or no cards. We have some time frame cards. Let's see. Can you give me 3 cards, please, for Virgo, for whatever question they may have about their life from now to the end of October? Can we get some answers for Virgo on whatever questions they have? I'm going to pull 3 cards for 3 different sets of people here. Oh. No. That first, that second, that third. Okay. So, 1, 2, or 3. Again, I will say 1, 2, or 3, whichever card you resonate with the most. Now, before I flip these over, like I said, we do have things like yes, no. We have some time frame cards. We have a couple other cards like think about other possibilities. Not exactly that, but things like that. I don't think there's a card exactly like that. I don't know. Anyways, I do want to say before I flip these over, let's say you pick one and it is like maybe you wanted a yes or no, but it gives you a time frame. That means that you're not meant to know the answer to your question. So, whatever you get here, if it resonates with your question, then that is the answer for your question. If it doesn't resonate with your question, that's the universe's way of saying that you're not meant to know that right now. So, card number 1, we have improving health. So maybe improving health of some kind would help with whatever question you had. Maybe if you asked about some kind of health thing, maybe that's, health is improving. But maybe some kind of like looking at improving your health could also give you the result that you was whatever it is that you was asking about. So question number 2 here we have yes with an exclamation point. Okay, so yes. There is some yes and no cards, like I said. There are some with just yes, just no, and yes with an exclamation point and no with an exclamation point. So this is a very strong yes. So that is hopefully great news, but I guess yes could be a bad thing too, depending on what you asked. I've just now really noticed too. I really like how it looks like they're holding the sun and the moon. It's so powerful looking. Anyways, the third question here, for those of you who picked card number 3, we have meditation brings answers. I feel like this is saying probably more of like, for most of you that picked this, is like your intuition is something you need to listen to, and maybe something that you should already know the answer to, or that you do know the answer to, or that you need to answer for yourself in some kind of way. Which I hate it when universe gives us stuff like that. Sorry, universe. But anyways, that is the reading for today, Virgo. That's something a little different. We haven't done a reading like that ever here. I hope that resonated with you, and I hope that you enjoyed. I am going to go ahead and... Virgo just spoke to me to read first. Maybe because I'm Virgo. Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know which cards or signs are going to come up next. I'm probably going to do a couple more today, and probably on one of my days off every week, I will try to do more like this. I'll probably try to do at least 3 once a week. We'll see what I get to, because right now I'm still working full time, so we'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I would appreciate the support, like I said earlier, on Twitch. Sometimes I do personal tarot readings on there. However, I also love playing Valorant on there. And I play retro games on there a lot as well. Anyways, thank you for being here. I will see you guys later, and until then, bye.